Sonic Rumble was recently announced. And just when I was planning on making a video on a very similar, yet very much so, much cooler subject. But that being said, this gives me a chance to talk about some of the characters I'd prefer to see, since, well, Sonic has quite the colorful cast. But they've already announced quite a few characters to be in the game, so I'll just list them off real quick. We already have Sonic, Eggman, Tails, Amy, Metal Sonic, Knuckles, Vector, Espio, Charmy, Big, Shadow, Rouge, Cream, Blaze, Jet, Silver, and Savannah, and the custom hero from Sonic Forces playable. But at the same time, the game's not even out yet, and this is just all the news and information we have. And so, hopefully, they will more than likely announce a few more characters before the game comes out. And, well, who are some characters I'd like to see, and who are some characters that I think we will see? Well, to start off with the most obvious pick, Omega. I mean, we already have Shadow, we already have Rouge, we already have Eggman. Why would Omega not be playable? Especially because it would complete the Team Dark trifecta. Plus, Omega is a lot of people's favorite characters, one of them being my brother's, and so I recognize and understand just how cool and awesome of a character he'd be. Plus, I don't know, I guess if we have Metal Sonic, why not have another robot as well? And to continue on with some more obvious picks, Wave and Storm, since Jet was confirmed to be a playable character. Now, just because Jet's in doesn't mean these two are locked in. I mean, Jet has appeared in a few spin-offs before without these two appearing, and sometimes he would appear before them and these two would be put into the game later on down the road. I'm specifically talking about Sonic Forces Speed Battle. But I think in a game where they are easily capable of going after the fan appeal, I think the more characters the better, and if they have Jet, it makes zero sense why they wouldn't have Wave and Storm as well. But speaking of fan favorites, they have my top three favorite characters in. They might as well add in my fourth favorite and newcomer, Sage. Now, it might be a little strange, especially since she really hasn't appeared outside of Sonic Frontiers. I think she appeared briefly at the end of Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, I can't remember. But she's a fan favorite, she's one of my favorites. I've seen lots of other people love her as well. In fact, part of why they did the Final Horizon DLC was so they can give an alternate ending where she didn't die, so she could continue on in the franchise. And so, I don't know, I think it'd be cool. We have Eggman playable, we have Metal Sonic playable. Makes sense that we'd have Sage playable, especially since she's a recent, brand new fan favorite, especially if they do actually plan on keeping Sage around, which it seems like to me that they are. It doesn't make sense why they would go back and redo the game to where she would not die and be able to stay with Eggman, just for her to never appear again for whatever reason that they would never explain. But onto a few characters that aren't necessarily shoe-ins, but would definitely be extremely cool picks as well. Chaos and Tikal to me seems like a bit of a package deal, both coming from Sonic Adventure. Tikal isn't as much of a fan favorite as Chaos are, but people love these guys anyway. Sonic Adventure is quite the popular game these days. I know critics of Sonic have said that there's no such thing as a good 3D Sonic game and that Sonic Adventure wasn't good, but lots of fans have been saying otherwise, and I'm one of them. And Sonic Adventure was great, and these two are basically the faces of that. We have Big playable. I don't think we'd get Gamma playable. Then again, he's in Sonic Forces Speed Battle, so like I don't know. But these two are as well. And not only that, but they both were also playable in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And I think it would generate a lot of hype to see both of these guys be playable as well. Will they be there when the game first launches, or would they be characters added after the fact? I don't know. I can see either way. I don't know about the call. But either way, they're fan favorites. I think it'd be cool that, and it would make sense that we would get them eventually, at the very least. But other characters that I would like to see, being from slightly more niche, but not as so niche, I don't know. But IDW characters, specifically Tangle, Whisper, Surge, and Kit. Now, they have confirmed with Sonic Frontiers that the IDW is canon to the main Sonic canon, where Sonic specifically, during one of his idle animations, mentions that Tangle would love to climb around on the ruins. And not only that, but Tangle and Whisper are playable in Sonic vs. Speed Battle, which is cool. I think Surge is as well. I'm not entirely sure. When I looked at it on the Sonic wiki, it listed her as like a challenger character, so I don't think you play her. She just appears to go against you sometimes. I don't know. But I think if they want to continue pushing this, it makes sense that they would have Tangle and Whisper playable. And I think since Surge has reached heights of popularity, it makes sense for her. Kit is interesting. Because for those who don't know, Surge and Kit were created by Dr. Starline to basically be a counter of Sonic and Tails. Surge is to be his version of Sonic, and Kit is supposed to be his version of Tails. And so while Surge has appeared in Sonic vs. Speed Battle and Kit didn't, I think in a game where if they were going for the goal of having like as many different Sonic characters as playable, it makes sense to me that if they have Surge, then they'd throw in Kit as well. Why not? The more the merrier, and I think Kit might have his fans. Not entirely sure. Now I think about it, out of the 4 characters that I think are possible, Kit's the only male from IDW. They have lots of great characters, but these are the 4 I think they would go with. I don't know, who else would they add? Rough and Tumble, I think they're pretty cool. I think they're underrated, but I doubt it. These 4 are the 4 I would go with. And while we're still talking about out there picks, Dix. Because she was also mentioned in Sonic Frontiers. Honestly, I think Dix is very, very, very much so an underrated character. And I think since with her random mention in Sonic Frontiers, Amy mentions at the end that she wants to go on a road trip with her and Cream. I think if they want to throw Dix back into the main canon, I mean, putting her in as a side character in a spin-off game, I mean, hey, if you're going to do it, like, especially if, again, if they want to add as many characters as they can, since the fact that they have Jet there, they have Zavok, they have the custom hero, which I didn't think was ever going to appear in anything again, it kind of feels like they're going for having as many characters as possible. And since they made the mention and obviously want Six to be in the main canon somehow, this seems like a really nice way to start kind of putting her back into the public eye a little bit. Plus, she is a very fun character. And going back to a little more obvious picks, but not as obvious, but still being, I don't know, I think these next few are going to be ones that people wouldn't care too much about. Zaz and Xena, because Zavok is playable, and Zavok is also playable in Sonic vs. Speed Battle. Whoa, common theme. But then these 2 are playable as well. And I know that there's these other 3 members of the Deadly Six, Zamam, Master Zik, and Zor, but I don't know, they haven't been playable in anything at all yet, and I know Zavok's been playable in Team Sonic Racing without these guys, but it was interesting because they were pushing for Zaz for a little bit, and then Xena was a very random addition to Sonic vs. Speed Battle. And so if they're going for adding as many characters as possible, then it makes sense to have these 2 up. So yeah, I don't know, I hope that, I don't know, I couldn't care less, especially if they have some of the other characters. I'm like, sure, throw in Zaz as long as I get Stage. But then 2 cooler characters, I guess, to kind of round off the list would be Nephilis and Infinite. And I know canon-wise these guys are dead, but first of all, I really don't think / hope that Sonic Rumble does not get a story mode or any kind of story, because if it does, then things have to make canon sense. If not, then they can just throw in Tikal, it doesn't have to make sense. They can just throw in Six, it doesn't have to make sense. They can throw in these 2, and it wouldn't have to make sense. It would just be like, I don't know, everyone's favorite Sonic characters is here, and we're doing this big ultimate thing, especially because There's a lot of fans behind these two, more so Mephiles and Infinite, but at the same time, Infinite has untapped potential, and if he were to be put into a prettier light, then I think that it could work out very much so for him, especially since as well they again have the custom hero from Sonic Forces in there. Why not have Infinite as well? Make it a non-canon, make it a canon. I think because the only place we ever got confirmed that Infinite was dead was in the Sonic Encyclopedia. But like that's it. And so if they want to retcon that, which it wouldn't really be too hard, but yeah, this would be the time, this would be the place. And I think both of them would be extremely cool in hype editions. And I think that was all the characters I wanted to talk about. Let me just double check my script real quick. Oh yeah, and I want Omo Chow. Also wanted to mention the stages real quick too, because the main thing about my dream ideal version of this game was not just the characters, but also a wide variety of stages. The stages we currently have confirmed for Sonic Rumble so far are Green Hill from Sonic 1, Sky Sanctuary from Sonic and Knuckles, Starlight Carnival from Sonic Colors, Frozen Factory from Sonic Lost Cause, and Lava Mountain from Sonic Lost World as well. And there's not too much, it's really just classic games and Wisp games. And not just Wisp games, but the cutesy ones, so no Sonic Forces. But it's a bit of a shame. I'm really hoping that we get stages from a wider selection of games. Not Seaside Hill, we already have Green Hill. But there's a lot of potential variety for if they were to do so. One of the main things with Sonic games in general is just their wide breadth of fun and amazing and fantastical places. Like, sticking with Sonic Heroes, I hope we don't get Seaside Hill, but we could easily get Egg's Fleet from Sonic Heroes. That was a very fun stage, took place in the sky. Pumpkin Hill from Sonic Adventure 2. This place gets memed all the time, and even outside of memes, it's just a very fun and fantastic location that unfortunately does not get the spotlight it deserves in the slightest. It'd also be cool if we can get Studiopolis from Sonic Mania in 3D for the first time ever, especially because that stage was all over the place when Sonic Mania was first revealed, and long after its release, everyone acts like it's the bread and butter of modern classic Sonic games, and I can't blame them, though I'm personally a Press Garden fan, but Studiopolis does have a lot of cool and fun stage gimmicks that could easily work in a game like this. But then, on top of that, me being me, I also want to see Savannah Citadel, because it is locked to the version of Sonic Unleashed I don't have, and I want to play it, but I don't want to betray my poor beloved Nintendo like that. Please, it already doesn't have enough specs. But anyways, that's all. Make sure you all subscribe, because I have more Sonic videos planned for down the road, specifically Sonic Frontiers 2, which I know will be exciting when we get there. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep dreaming.